When did you first find that you wanted or you felt you needed to tackle the theme of how should Waldorf education respond to the setting where you are?
I came to the school with it.
Mm.
It was something that developed at Haleakala.
And how?
Out of my experience of being on this property for whatever, nigh 20 years and feeling a spirit and learning that for me it connected to anthroposophy, as I just was kind of talking about, the Hawaiian culture. And so in my dissertation in 2014, I had this one paragraph that was linking one of my findings to the concept of a being behind a school. And my lived experience, which I think I wrote about in the Pacifica Journal that you and I are both in, was that this being was either the same, the being in the land was either the same as the being in the school or side by side or working with or something. And so after I had written that dissertation, I felt and I started doing some writing for publication. One of them was about you know being brave enough to just say what things are to prospective Waldorf parents, and of course to the Waldorf community.
Yes,
so
yeah.
I pretty much came in with this whole land and spirit thing.
Yourself can be hard enough.
Yeah. So from the beginning, I would say I started right away.
Yeah, because for me, I came back to New Zealand now 7 years ago, having been away for 14, and I came back to a different New Zealand in a way, certainly a different Auckland, in that Maori educational principles were much more visible within what education was wanting to aim at, and also the demographic of Auckland had really changed in those 14 years, and it had become this amazingly diverse place. And when I went into schools, I saw that there appeared to be this, for me, a growing disconnect between, as it were, what I saw outside the classroom and what I saw inside the classroom. And that has intensified for me over the last 7 years. And after about a year of this, as it were, disconnect, then I found that I couldn't stop thinking about it, but also then starting speaking and then starting writing to try and get things moving. And as you know, I've just written an article about it to try and document that 7-year process.
What bothered you, though? What was, so you saw, hey, it's so diverse here and it's not diverse there.
Yeah,
then what?
I basically saw that there were older European-based models being put into a culture which was no longer even nominally European. It was so amazingly mixed, and also there was, as it were, a temporal disconnect. That some things which, when I first came across them in 1980 or whatever, were fine, but then seeing the same in 2012 without much modification was, you think, well, no, we really have been we have been here before. But it was particularly the, I suppose, the representation of non-European values, non-European attitudes, and I found I was wanting to challenge the distribution of unconscious power, what was valued and what was of value and what was not of value. I just wanted to get a stick and kind of stir the ant's nest a little bit. Actually, the ant's nest was asleep, so that's a poor analogy.